Alrighty, everybody. Hopefully, everything working fine with the sound and everything. And let me just say one thing. Been wanting to make this video since last weekend. Live. I actually was gonna do another reaction video, and I asked permission, and I forgot which other video was that one. Thankfully, I did remember Philip because he did reply recently. Been wanting to get a podcast going. Initially, I wanted to make a podcast with some other collectors, and I know he's part of the collector community as well. Nice. All right. I don't know if the chat's gonna pop out. Anyways, give everything the camera a little bit smaller, right about there. Anyways, this past weekend there was an announcement that Microsoft, sorry, was actually gonna delay a bunch of people, and they did, and they lay off some Blizzard employees, and then I forgot Activision employees as well. Activision and Blizzard, they're together, and this is a result of when a company gets too big, there's collective punishment every time. That's why no entity should get any big, no government, no corporation should get any big. The moment they wield that power, they can do a lot of stuff, and when they see stuff that they don't like spoiled kids, they tend to start doing collective punishment, which I honestly do not accept or like. That's why a lot of empires and big groups that start forming over like the Roman Empire, the Ottoman Empire, to say the least, everything starts to get so big that they try and put certain people on top, several people to actually avoid getting karma. But yet then again, like you can't get any group or any organization so powerful, or any country or any group. This freaking matrix, what I've been noticing, it's programmed to actually keep everybody in check. I don't care who it is, programmed to keep everybody in check. So Microsoft, I'm sorry, you're no exception. I know you're so successful, been doing a lot of good business transactions over the years. But let's see this. As far as for Philip One Collect, I'm gonna do a reaction as soon as I'm done with that video, because if I do a reaction, I pause and I play the video, there's gonna be like a 1 hour stream. So I don't want to make this an hour stream. I'm gonna see if I can actually say what I have to say as soon as he's done, as soon as I'm done playing his video. And another thing that I was gonna mention as well, I forgot. Damn it. Well, anyways, it says, and these are, I'm not sure if this is like an official thing, but I saw this. It says, I'm worried that Xbox could disappear in 2027. It says Microsoft has already spent $100 billion buying gaming companies to make Xbox Pass a great service. Not to mention they've been buying a lot of companies like Activision and Microsoft, Activision and Blizzard. I don't know for how much money. I think it's probably in the billions. Not in the millions, for sure billions. If Xbox Game Pass can't get enough subscribers, then Microsoft will exit the gaming business and only Nintendo and PlayStation will be left. Honestly, do feel like there's gonna be another company that's gonna start competing with this too. I don't know who it is. I mean, slowly Steam started getting into the handheld business, and maybe Steam is gonna start doing the bullshit of like monthly subscriptions to play their services. I wouldn't be surprised if Steam joins in the bandwagon and starts to become the next freaking Xbox of the 2020s. where they start making their handheld consoles as well. I mean not handheld consoles. They're making their consoles. We already have a handheld console, and then they start the bullshit that freaking Microsoft did of the subscriptions that you could have to pay some freaking membership a month or a year that are just to play online. This is the reason why most people don't like to play console gaming, and most everybody's like on PlayStation 5 now that I've been on PS4. Like it's stupid because they load up a lot faster. They have the edge. So if you play a game like Dead by Daylight or any freaking Call of Duty games, um, they are more prone to actually having the advantage because of the loading speed. Anyways, let's see here. If Microsoft left the gaming business and has failed to get Minecraft, wait, what? If Microsoft let the gaming may have failed to get Minecraft sold to another company, then Minecraft wouldn't exist. And there will be Blockcraft, no Minecraft, thank you, goodbye. Somebody made this. My brother said something about Microsoft actually wanting buy everything up. I don't know where he's getting this. I think he probably like from a conspiracy theorist video. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is actually true because I'm seeing like some patterns of Microsoft actually buying game companies left and right. And so he told me that they want to buy gaming companies left and right, mostly physical games, and they want to make everybody not actually own anything by 2030. And I think that I heard some bullshit like that they wanna make everybody free from using gas vehicles by 2030. But this was like a prediction, like around 2020 when the pandemic started. I don't know if that's actually going to be a really good idea, knowing that most of the countries, like especially Europe, is so dependent on gas. But anyways, I'm going a little bit off topic here. What I'm trying to say is that most of these companies, they probably have a hidden agenda. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. But before we move on, let's watch Fill Up One Collect, and yeah, we can go from there.
So hey, what up family? Welcome back to the channel. Piece of shit. You wanna
I don't know if it's too loud. I wanted to skip a little bit of the intro. All right, let's go from here.
5,900 video game industry layoffs in 2024 so far. Nearly 60% of 2023's total, and we're not even at the end of January yet. You have got to be mother effing kidding me. Like, what is even going on in this industry? I have no words, man. Like, I do not recognize the gaming industry. What is this shit we are in now? Why is anybody surprised? I'm certainly not surprised. I could have told you this was going to happen. But let's continue reading this article. It's been little over 3 months since the Activision, Blizzard, and King teams joined Microsoft. So 3 months since this merger went through, and they wasted no time. They waited till the holiday season was over because they knew if they did it then, it would have been even more scummy than it is. But they literally wait till the new year and they say, Happy New Year, you're fired. Have fun, biatches. Go get another job. We don't give a shit about you. That's a fantastic way to usher in the new year. That's one hell of a New Year's resolution. That's all I got to say. The entertainment industry is just a mess. An absolute mess. This is not the same gaming space I grew up with in the 80s and 90s. And like, I don't recognize any of this. I honestly feel like I don't even belong in this space anymore. When I'm reading these tweets of these people that are desperate for a job, that are saying how devastated and heartbreaking they are, it breaks me. It breaks me because these people put their blood, sweat, and tears into these games. They're so talented and so amazing, and they go unnoticed. That's why I made podcasts where I spotlighted indie developers and their games, because it's important. You only get to know of the Kojimas of video games, but you don't get to know.
Wait. That's very true. That's very true. But ever since when I saw the credits of Doom Eternal, I started browsing through several people around when I started seeing names that maybe I could have spot them on Discord or anywhere. But yeah, the people on the bottom usually they don't get recognized. It's always the people on top. But yeah, I didn't want to interrupt. Let me keep on going.
Every person behind these games, they're just credits at the end of a game or a movie that you ignore completely. But they're real people that have lives, that have families that they have to feed. Imagine working at Activision and Blizzard for the last 5 years or longer of your life. You made friends there, you made connections, people that knew you, knew your family, and now all that is just stripped away from you. You thought, you were convinced that Microsoft was going to come in and make the company that you worked for better, to save it. And instead of being the hero, they're the villain of this story. That's the plot twist. I don't like to have to sit here and say I told you so. I don't like to constantly have to blast this negative gaming bullshit on the channel, but I feel like if I don't, it's never going to be said. And these companies are going to just keep getting away with it. It drives me absolutely up the wall, because this hobby meant everything to me and my uncle. Everything. And to watch it literally crumble upon itself because of investors and companies like Microsoft that don't give a shit about gaming, shit about developers, shit about game preservation and game ownership. They don't care about any of it. In fact, they're the reason why, one of the primary reasons why, the game industry is literally crumbling and becoming nothing but a subscription service. Microsoft, I've said it before, came into this space because they wanted to disrupt Sony from getting into the PC side. They didn't want Sony messing with their industry. So they came in to disrupt the game industry. And sure, maybe the first Xbox and the 360, really good platforms to play on, they eased themselves in it. They made it seem like they were your friend. They were great for gaming, blah, blah, blah. But in the end, Microsoft always shows their true colors. And that's what came out with the Xbox One launch. Anybody remember the Xbox One launch? I sure do. Please tell me where all the people at that fought against Microsoft for all that egregious bullshit with the online check-in and not owning your games and all this and that. Where did all those people go? Because if you think Microsoft abandoned that strategy, they had a change of heart. They became the Grim.
Okay, another interruption. They all went to PlayStation 5. Everybody that was on the Xbox 360 and Xbox, they all moved to Sony. And some of them, they just stopped playing Sony and they're just on Steam. So it's either Steam or Sony. They're on those platforms.
Grinch whose heart grew 3 sizes that day, you are dead wrong. They did not have a change of heart at all. They just took their shit decisions and they wrapped it in a new package and sold it to you as Game Pass. That's what it is. That's what it evolved into. Game Pass. And the more you buy into Game Pass, the more you destroy gaming. There's another article that says, reported by Dextero and shared by our good friends at Does It Play. I always love Does It Play because they tell it how it is. They don't sugarcoat shit, just like me. This account said, Microsoft is reportedly laying off the entire physical game department at Xbox. The entire department. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. Physical games. We already heard the reports that Walmart was skipping out on carrying physical games for Xbox. That they weren't going to do it anymore because they literally sat behind the shelves and nobody buys them. They can't get rid of them. And that's because Game Pass has made the Xbox ecosystem so complacent and reliant on it to where they don't want to buy physical games anymore. It's like how movies are now. You know how you go into a retail store, Walmart, Target, you see this big ass bin filled to the brim with DVDs and Blu-rays. They're anywhere from like $3 to $5 a movie, right? Nobody's buying them because they're like, oh, I could just watch this on Netflix. I don't need it. I got Amazon Prime. And what does that mean? That means physical movies are going to stop being carried at retail stores, like at Best Buy. They weren't lying when they said they were going to pull those movies off their storefronts. They literally did it. Now you can only do store pickup at certain Best Buy locations. But for most part, it's gone. Movie theaters, totally destroyed. We have seen the decline of movie theaters dry up. We are letting these companies sell us on not owning anything entertainment wise. You got ebooks, so maybe eventually physical books will just disappear. You got streaming services for movies, television shows, anime. Eventually, no more physical media there. And if you think video games aren't on the chopping block, well, Microsoft is here to tell you they're ready to take it away from.
And this is the thing. One I wanted to interrupt because I might forget this. Everything's digital and games that are coming in, right? A lot of the Generation Z, they're comfortable with it, but they don't see the big repercussions that other generations, older generations see. Is that whenever you have a physical asset, you get to actually sell it. Now, it's like if you get banned for whatever reason, then all those digital games just become washed away. And that's gonna be like a digital currency in the future. That's gonna be exactly the same. You cannot buy and you cannot sell if you get punished by the system. See, now people want to see why digital ownership of everything of our daily lives can be very dangerous. In the sense that a lot of times people can actually say the wrong things, not necessarily are bad people, but they say the wrong things, and some certain people, some of these lefties or right or whatever, I don't care. I'm not a left, I'm not right, but they get butthurt or whatever for whatever reason, and then you can get in trouble because you got snitched or the government doesn't like your point of views because you're not rooting for crony capitalism, which capitalism ends up being crony eventually. Um, anyways, that's just my opinion, but stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like, there's ideas that are getting put out there, and if somebody up there on the branches of organization, corporations, governments, whatever you might want to call them, they don't like it, you're gonna get punished. That means your life is over. So in video games, this is the reason why I don't buy any more PlayStation 4. Is that if you get banned from that account and you bought a shit ton of games, that means everything that you've been buying for gets to waste. And the only reason why I'm saying this crap is because I got banned for saying a really dumb joke. Somebody a fucking this is the reason why I've been telling what's Camp Hustle. I don't like to like joke around with people anymore and stuff. And he called me a what's the word? A snowflake. Is that people are snowflakes and that they can't handle certain things that I say to them. And they're like, and it was a joke. It was a sexual joke, and somebody saw that as an offense and then just reported me. I'm like, bam, banned for a few days. I'm like, hell no, dude. Where's my say where I can actually say, hey, give me an opportunity? This was thrown in like the wrong way. It's like It's like in YouTube, man. People get in trouble and then they don't tell you sometimes the real reason as to why they're in trouble. I got I got demonetized and on my channel, and I got a first strike only because I had music in some Fallout, like Far Cry game in one of my streams, and it only has to be like one dumb mistake that you do, you get punished for it, and not necessarily that you're a bad person. Sometimes it can be laziness, or sometimes it can be that you just forgot, like have a lot of stuff. So I'm not actually liking how we're moving coming generations. There are lives becoming a little bit more simple, but at what cost, man? Anyways, let me keep on going.
From you, and you can't do shit because you paid for Game Pass. Microsoft's shit business decisions has literally affected the way Sony runs their company. We have seen Sony go from this Japanese company that was so passionate and dedicated like Nintendo, and because the console wars that started between Sony and Microsoft, that is eroded away, and they are a shell of their former selves. They're like a Sony Soft, a subsidiary of Microsoft. I've said that so many times, but it's so funny because it just rolls off the tongue, and it's so true. They really have become so much like Microsoft. And it's crazy because at the launch of the Xbox One, they were the company that was making fun of Microsoft and showing people how to share your game by literally handing it to someone else in that video. It was the best roast of E3 I have ever seen. And now, they can't talk any shit because they're just like Microsoft. They're choosing to make digitally based consoles. They're changing PS Plus and make it more reliant on it. You have to pay for it now. It's mandatory. And now we're seeing Nintendo slowly adopt that paid service too, by putting their retro games locked into some kind of digital license, but you don't ever own it. And we see that they don't really have any other way to give you these games, to preserve them. It's really, really dark and unfortunate times for gaming. And to all those people out there that say, well, physical games don't matter. They're not on the disc. It's just a key to give you access. Bullshit. Just because there's a patch and there's an installation and there's an update doesn't mean that physical game isn't functional. Doesn't play as reported on it so many times that that's not true. The only time that isn't true is when the companies that put out the physical do a half-assed job and only half of the game is on the damn disc, and then you have to download the rest. Or you just get a code in a box, because those are always so much fun. I want to circle back to Microsoft, get back on track here, because we went off on a tangent. I can do that. And account Stealth said, Nintendo. When Nintendo was at an extremely low point, Iwata said something we haven't really seen since. So, Iwata of Nintendo, may he rest in peace, said this: if we reduce the number of employees for better short-term financial results, employee morale will decrease. I sincerely doubt employees who fear that they may be laid off will be able to develop software titles that could impress people around the world. Iwata said that before his passing. This man, he knew. Like, he just knew. And if he was still alive today and he saw how the industry is, I think he would just roll around in his grave. I think he would be so disappointed and heartbroken to see how things are going. It's just I don't understand how heartless some of these companies can be. And I get trying to make a profit to make your investors happy, But if all you do is listen to investors, then you are going to alienate everyone else. If you keep your employees happy, you keep your consumers happy, then they'll continue to do the best job possible working for you, and consumers will continue to buy from you. If you alienate your consumers and you treat your employees like shit, what do you think is going to happen to you? You think people are going to just sit by and let that happen? Nah, it's going to be like medieval times. People are going to rise up with pitchforks, torches, and swords, and they're going to be like bravehearting your ass. Like, they're not going to sit idly by and let that happen. And with how big the internet is now, and you're already seeing all these tweets of people without their job and this and that, like, it's not going to be good for you. It's going to be a PR disaster. So tell me how laying off 2,000 people is really the smart decision here. You have these Xbox loyalist accounts going, well, it's a necessary step.
Okay, I think I already he make his message out there. Then one of the stuff that I was gonna mention as well, uh, for this stream, Philip mentioned something that oh, everything's going digital. People are not owning stuff, and then stores they're taking off a lot of physical stuff, which there's people that I knew that would collect movies and literally had like a big stack. Like I have probably like around 20, 25 movies, and they're all zombie movies. But this guy had a little bit of everything. He had probably like around 100 movies, and he was actually trading off the DVDs, selling them, and then he would get the Blu-ray. So he was replacing all of the DVDs for the Blu-rays, and he had them all stacked. The problem is a lot of these upcoming new generations, they grew up playing Minecraft and other stuff, or they were playing on their tablets, so they did never own like a physical thing. So everything was always already digital, so they're all completely fine. But what they're doing is that they're targeting millennials at its finest. Sure, Generation X kind of. They grew up with the Atari and other stuff, but not kind of, because I think millennials is where they're actually spending the most money on a lot of the physical gamings. A lot of GameStop and the other shitty company, limited run games. They should be happy that millennials actually do appreciate do appreciate not just physical gaming, but physical collecting as a whole. It'd be toys, it'd be cards, it'd be statues. Now, a lot of kids now, Generation Z, and then I forgot the other new generation. There's a one generation after Z, I forgot that they still like Pokemon. And I know there's a new game, and I hate overrated games. What's it called? Pow World. Everybody's bringing that shit up. Like everything's digital. I don't see physical companies of making those. And then the worst part of all, man, physical companies, they don't treat you nice. Limited runs are a piece of garbage. GameStop, no exception. Best Buy, they focused more on PC gaming, but then they started focusing a little bit of everything. They're not the nicest of people either, man. And then you would actually purchase stuff on their website and you would get points. Now they don't actually give none of that. Like a lot of these companies are just becoming greedy and greedy because the economy is actually going down. And I actually predict that this year was actually going to be the downfall of the video game industry. Not necessarily like a crash, but it can be a crash of the like 1983. I kind of see a crash, but at the same time I do see a downfall because everybody's buying games now where they're on sale. And everybody on Steam, including myself, we're not getting games brand new. Unless you're like one of those selfish ass 30-year-olds or selfish ass kids that they want to play new games on like launch or like the first few weeks that it came out, then sure, you can be one of those type of people. where you're competing with your friends or family members over some bullshit shenanigan in a game, which is I kind of find funny and it's not worth it. But then there's the other aspect that a streamer, you want to actually get that game on launch or before launch and beat it as fast as you can so you can actually have the most views. And a lot of times those pick up a lot of subscriptions. You get a lot of support from that. I've seen channels where there were 20,000 subscribers and then they get certain games that people were really anticipated and then their channels go to 50,000, 80,000. A lot of times, if you get a lot of money funds, transactions, especially if you get sponsors, your channel is going to grow really quick. There's people that are stuck at 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, and that's because the more flow money that your channel gets, the more YouTube will pick that your channel up. Not only that, but you have to actually put up the shit that you're actually that there's money that they like. If you put stuff that they don't like Phil Up One Collects, he's putting stuff that a lot of gaming companies don't like. That's why his channel's not growing as fast as he could have. A lot of the times, people that are kiss asses, their channels go up really, really high. I don't have to name people, but there was a guy that was blue haired. That was one of the biggest kiss asses. His channel's at 750, 800,000 subscribers. I'm not gonna mention his name. You can look him up, a guy with blue hair. I don't know if he has blue hair right now, but you'll know who I'm talking about. I don't have to mention his name. Anyways, I was gonna mention something else, but I forgot, and I don't want to make this long stream because I actually wanna do some stuff before I go to sleep. Microsoft got founded in 2001, which was the year of the snake. Now, oddly enough, I've been more into like numerology and a little bit into astrology, and one of the aspects as to why I want to quit online video games because I'm a snake. I'm a snake. I'm a horse. Sorry, not a snake. Horse, and I'm a Virgo. So Virgos are known to, and I kind of like astrology. I kind of like, I don't want to touch it too much, but they always say that Virgos are perfectionists, and it's kind of true. And horses, they're very competitive. So you add those two things when you're and competitive and what's the other word that and perfectionist. Like I don't like when those two things start coming up with me in an online game. I get nasty, man. I start fighting people online, getting in discussions, and it's not healthy, man. Your blood pressure goes up, and you start getting like you're not even winning money. Like you're just playing some competitive. Like it's not worth it, man. It really is not worth it. There's so many great single player games that are great. Like if you're another sign, another Chinese sign that's more chill, but horses, they're known to be very, very competitive. I think monkey is another one that's kind of close to horse, where they're kind of competitive as well. I don't know which other signs, like one of the most chill. I haven't looked that up. But look at this Xbox, the original Xbox, not the 360 Xbox One or Series X. Came out in 2001. It was a snake year. 2023 was the year of the rabbit. Look at that. Worst couple. I go by this. A lot of times they go by the decisions as well. So saying in a financial year or a lot of the decisions that are good for you, you're supposed to do them when it's supposed to be like the perfect match, good friend. Complimentary, I'm not sure. Average is like It's like, but like if you do a lot of signs on worst on your sign, you tend to actually have a lot of bad things happen to you. I think my older brother is a snake as well. You're the snake. Wait, I think my dad is also a snake here, so it wasn't a really good year in 2020. Wait, two, I'm not sure which is actually, but anyways, we're gonna be a Year of the Dragon. Year of the Dragon says perfect match for this love couple, but I connect this. So I feel like Microsoft, the revenue, they're gonna see better. They're gonna see good times because 2019, which I don't know what was the Chinese um, zodiac for 2019, but that was the worst year. But at the same time, 2019, like that was when PlayStation was getting a lot of the freaking exclusive games, man. I think they were announced that Final Fantasy VII was gonna come out on PlayStation 4 in 2020. There was a lot of other games that were gonna be exclusive that people already knew it was gonna come out. So people were like not putting money or attention on the Xbox. That's why 2019 was a very bad year for Xbox because freaking Sony was doing the same shit Microsoft was doing to them back in the 2000s. See how karma works? Like there's like a tit for tat. So Microsoft did it to Microsoft did it to Xbox. No, Microsoft did it to Sony in 2008. I feel like 2008 was like a pinnacle year that was like good for uh, exclusives. 2008, I think Left 4 Dead came out. We didn't have Left 4 Dead on PlayStation 3, and then there was other great games that came out in 2008, 9 as well. So 19, 20 was like basically 2008, 9 for Xbox. And a lot of those Xbox 360 players, they flooded into PlayStation 4 during 2019. I was one of them, man. I actually looked it up. I didn't see one of the forums or something on this stream, but I did actually make some research as to what happened to a lot of the Xbox players. They actually moved to PlayStation 2019-20. Now, I don't know where they're moving in 2024. I feel like now they're moving slowly transitioning to Steam. They're slowly laying off and getting rid of their PlayStation 5s and or not putting enough money in their PlayStation 5s and they're focusing on Steam. So Philip One Collects, he said, what happened to them? Well, I think they're on Steam. A lot of times there's other good services as well, not just Steam. On GOG, I'm gonna start using it. The only thing that I don't like about GOG is that they don't have a good exclusive games like Steam does. Steam has a lot of good exclusive games. Well, not exclusive, but like games that they have it and that GOG doesn't have it. GOG has exclusive 90s games, and then when you fricking boot it up, it doesn't even work. So it's a disaster for GOG. They need to really do something to fix that, or or something, man. Because a lot of times some their games have more things, and a lot of people don't know that. Like Mirrorwind, here's a Might and Magic 3, to name a few. There's several games like that that there's more stuff on the GOG than the Steam, but your average person doesn't know that. So, and yeah, this is pretty much the revenue expectation for 2020, 2025. Now, that is all might change. It all depends on the economy. The economy is not looking so well. I feel like there might be some type of crash, economic crash, like a reset or something, because we're at 30 plus trillion dollars. I don't know what number exactly it is right now, but like, and I think this is by design that people are throwing money left and right, washing money left and right, because they want to make everything digitalized, and that's the agenda. That's been the agenda probably since like after the well, after after the fall of not after the fall of Soviet, after the end of World War II. I think it's been on the agenda probably for 50 plus years because they've been throwing money left and right since the 40s, man. After 40s, like they've been throwing everything away. Like it's just corporations, man. They have freaking hidden agendas. Microsoft has one, and they might probably do another collective punishment if their sales don't go as this graph shows. So say if it shows in 2024 as to like similar to 2019, I don't know what they're gonna do. But shit like this where they fire people, it pisses some people off. There's people that they go to lengths as to protesting as to selling their fucking Xbox console. And in 2024, it's like 2012, man. 2012 was the year of the dragon. This year's the year of the dragon. I told myself last year, actually, I think it was in October or November of last year, that I said, you know what, in 2024, I'm not gonna buy games as much. I think the last game that I bought was in November, but that was like a Christmas gift. So 2012, I invested my money and time on retro games. That's what I'm gonna do in 2024, man. I'm gonna focus on going to the N64, and I might probably do a beat all N64 game challenge, which I've been seeing on YouTube lately and Twitch, and I might be trying to do that because sure, the graphics are nice. You see games like WWE 2K 2023, the graphics look so great. That's why people were drawn to Call of Duty because the graphics were so great back in the 2000s. But then you get bored, man. And then, like, what's the point? Like, I want to focus on something that makes it fun, not addicting or amazing to give me that dopamine rush for only like a few seconds or minutes or a few hours. I want something that can give me dopamine and the nostalgia and the fun factor and all the amazing effects that a lot of these nostalgia games give me. And that's why people attack us millennials because they say that we're stuck in the 90s, 80s, and 2000s, that we're stuck on those older generations. And honestly, man, they're not wrong. They're kind of right on that. But man, to each their own, man. Everybody's in their own little thing. Generation Z seems like they might probably have a different aspect of as to what kind of nostalgia they have. For millennials, it's just those games that I mentioned. But I'm gonna end the stream. Anyways, take care, guys, and yeah, I'm gonna probably make the Vince McMahon stream. I think I might probably do on this channel because it literally is an entertainment, so I don't want to do it on my third channel. So I did wanted to mention him getting fired in 2024. Well, resigning actually, which the Dragon years are known to actually give karma back to whomever was being a dick for like a decade or so or more. That's kind of true. Like I've been noticing that 2012 was a really bad year for me, and I feel like karma hit me in so many ways because I was bad. I did some stuff over those past 10 years when I was like younger. But then now that I'm noticing those things and I'm seeing those patterns, I'm gonna try and become a better version of myself and becoming nicer. And if people are dicks, the best thing to do is just to ignore them and get away from them. Don't actually create drama, don't actually fight them. Sooner or later, karma kind of gets the way to people. But anyways, I'm gonna cut this stream. Take care, everybody. Peace out.